Hi, how are you? Today we are going to talk about variables in JavaScript and which one you should really use in your code. So let's start. First, what is a variable? A variable is a reserved memory space where different kinds of data can be added. So an example or a classic example is a box with different things inside. In this case, a smile and a thunder. The let and var keywords in JavaScript can be used to declare variables in two different ways. As you can see, I've given them different names that describe the differences between the two forms. Var is the old way to declare variables and let is the new way. Actually, it's not so new because it was introduced in the year 2015 in ECMAScript 6 version. But by the way, we are going to talk about var first. So let's continue with this particular example. In this code, we have the same declarations for var. In other programming language, this doesn't make sense. Why can I declare two variables with the same name? This is because the two variables are elevated in the top of the scope, in the global scope. Being in the same scope, in this case, global scope, this redeclaration is allowed when using var, and this is weird, I know. The scope of a variable defines its accessibility. JavaScript has three scope kinds, and var keyword share it too: the global scope and the function scope. Okay, this is another example. We can use an undefined variable before declaring it. The result is undefined, but this doesn't prevent my code from running later. It indicates that JavaScript has found the references to my variable, but in that moment was undefined. How is this possible? This behavior is called hoisting. I will go into further detail on hoisting in future videos. Meanwhile, you can think of hoisting as the ability of JavaScript to place variable of the top in the scope, so that if we use var, the order of variable declarations is irrelevant. First, var allows you to declare a variable before you need to use it, and that is weird. And second, var is either global scope or function scope. Global variables are declared outside of any function and live at the root of the entire running application. They can easily be accessed by outside manipulation, so they should never use it. At this point, let and const come to help us write better JavaScript code. With let, for example, this is not allowed. Let's analyze the scope of let. We can see how let works in several scopes. First, we have a first scope outside, and then a function scope, and then a block scope, which you can see in the if expression. During the executions, we can see how the console logs respect the variable's scope, preventing the variables from taking foreign values. Now the question is where I should use var or let. I propose, and the community propose, using let because we won't have the unusual behavior that var causes. So we just accept it. Var, global, and function scope are confusing, and it's one of the most common reasons of JavaScript mistakes. Let's see this another example in Chrome. See how the use of let doesn't allow us to make a change in the JavaScript window object, while with var, we can overwrite objects and values of the windows very easily. That is a very bad practice. Okay, let's move on. Now we can see const in JavaScript. The concept is the same as let statement, but you can redeclare variable. An important concept here is redeclaring things. Redeclaring things is different from mutable things. This could be a confusing concept, and we will introduce this in the future videos, but basically this is the general concept. You can redeclare things, but you have the same scope as let function, as let variable, a block scope. And okay, that's it. I hope variables and constants in JavaScript are no longer a problem for you, and that's all for now. See you in another video.